we're now moving on to the audience questions. So far, they are to all of you. So we'll keep moving around, with Blount being the first. The first questions are on the achievement gap. I'm going to combine these questions, and if anyone who wrote them doesn't feel I've covered what they actually wanted to say, please feel free to raise your hand. There's been a great deal of talk in recent years about the racial achievement gap in our city schools, yet little progress has been made to correct it. What would you advocate to address this problem more effectively? And in the second question, the issue of both racial and economic backgrounds is mentioned. So what I'm gathering is the audience would like a few more specifics.
This issue around the achievement gap has been one that propelled me to run for the school board 4 years ago. This is an issue that not only Charlottesville, but many other cities around the nation contend with. But we're talking about Charlottesville here. The genesis of it is what I, as a board member, try to look at early exposure to some of our programs, looking at our preschool program, looking at getting the elementary Spanish, looking at maintaining our talent development. As a board member, I fought to keep the funding going for that talent development program. On the other end as well, for our high school students, looking at having paid internships. I've kept that question going as well to encourage the superintendent and her staff to consider that. Oh, there's only a minute this time. Somebody else ask that same question again, please.
All right.
Well, since it was 2 and 1.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm sure you'll have the opportunity.
Thank you.
Everybody else is ready to speak quick.
Do we have a choice?
Thank you for coming. Ms. Neale, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, the achievement gap. From everything that I have read and understand thus far, we're improving in some areas, and there's still a lot of challenges. For example, it was exciting to see that our graduation rate has increased from 75% in 2008 to 84% in 2011. Our English pass rate for disadvantaged students has increased, and also math and science this past year. But we also had some big dips. History went down from 79% to 70% at Walker and Buford, and there were other dips. My point in referencing that at all is it's an ongoing challenge. Schools are taking on more as we try to help every student achieve, and I think we specifically have to push out more to the community. I give the example of the principal at Greenbrier, Jim Kiner, who went out to a big apartment complex behind Kmart where a lot of his students attend, and got an apartment free to the school where they do after-school tutoring and summer school, and it's made a significant difference in the achievement of the students. A minute is not much.
The achievement gap in 1 minute.
Yeah.
So yes, early intervention, preschool 3 and 4 preschool, I think is key. The different starting lines for children is unacceptable when they get to the first grade. The differences are already there, I'd like to see the emphasis on reading continue to evolve throughout their education. It's very heavy in K1, and then it gets less and less. So Book Buddies, for example, is in first grade, which is an amazing program, but to have that program, the volunteer program, continue on even as the children get older, because you can tell from the numbers that reading continues to be a problem at 5th grade, at 8th grade, at 9th grade, and you talk to teachers at Charlottesville High School, reading is the problem. And so just emphasizing reading from the time they're 3 years old until they graduate from high school, I think is one thing that we must do.
Okay, in the interest of time, I'll say I agree with almost everything that's been said so far on this issue. A couple things I'd add. Middle school is critical. Right? It's the point where kids are set up for success or failure in high school. Ninth grade is your greatest risk for the dropout process, and you're essentially initiating. College attendance is premised on completing Algebra 1 by 8th grade, highly correlated. So strengthening the middle school, this is where we get into the reconfiguration and the renovation of Buford is central. Another point I want to make is the achievement gap is not really achievement gap. It's an opportunity gap, and it's based in our community. It's the wider issues that we face of poverty, of family challenge that kids bring to school. The schools can do a lot. We've been working on this. We need to do more, but we also need to reach out and form the partnerships in this community that will help us address some of these deeper issues, whether it's with social service agencies or the Chamber of Commerce. We need those partnerships.
Thank you, Mr. Laufer.
The reduction in the achievement gap is a direct result of the hard work teachers are doing in the classroom, and they deserve to be commended, and they certainly earn much of the credit for their work. They're doing this by asking high-level questions of the students and by forming good relationships with the students. That's how the teachers are able to reduce the achievement gap. Because on the first day of school, the students size up the teacher and ask themselves, what kind of person is this? Is it a person I can work with or be opposed to? And students and the teachers and the community working with the students and building good relationships is the key to reducing the achievement gap.
Thank you, Ms. Laufer.
I'm going to say preschool is number one. You know, you look at families with welfare parents, they're getting 200 words a minute or an hour, and parents with educated parents are, it's like 2,000 words a minute. So by the time we're getting to 3-year-olds, they're behind. And it's really critical that we have an enriched preschool program. And also I think that middle school is critical as well. I mean, I taught middle school, and you know, there's so much going on there, but keeping reading going is what's most important. And also, the summer losses contribute to all of this achievement gap. The Boys and Girls Club have this great idea that if they could fundraise enough, they could be open in the summer and have a reading program going for the kids that they're serving, which I think would be really interesting to see what would happen to our achievement gap in terms of reading. And also, I'd like to just say graduation is not the end line. We really need productive citizens, and it's crucial that we reach every child.
Thank you, Ms. Kadija.
Hi, I run on a platform that's health is academic, and I believe really fundamentally that's at the core of our achievement gap or opportunity gap, as you may choose to call it. Yeah, it's an opportunity for the entire community to grapple with the fact that we're undermining our kids by not teaching them right off the bat what they could be doing better, or our parents, as the case may be. I think that the 2 points that have been made about preschoolers and readiness for school, as well as Buford 9th grade, yeah, those are critical points. We should really be educating parents in the community that one of the biggest things that they can do in order to prepare their children for school is to minimize inappropriate foods, sugary foods, and to show them where they can find other foods to help their children be able to perform. It's been demonstrated in a school in Georgia that I can move on to that later.
Thank you.